Hey folks, we're live. Let's make sure the lighting's suitable. Let's turn this down a little bit. There you go, looks perfect. What's for my new iPhone? Nice, welcome Lisa. Happy New Year. Awesome. You get the latest iPhone, or you keeping it real and that? Also sell emotes, you sell the best emotes. Best cheap followers, viewers at Twitch by viewers and followers. Hey Jeffrey, how's it going? Happy New Year. Yeah, the 17, nice. Finally arrived. Awesome. How are you both? Hope you're doing well. There's those awesome emotes. It's been a good start to the year. Been a good start to the year. Didn't do anything too special. I'm got to the age now where I'm quite happy just being comfortable on New Year's. Not one for going out and doing a big party if I don't really need to. It could have to be a special party to get me out, I think. Well, that's generally how it goes. New Year's is no exception. But Nix and I had a great New Year. Stayed in, watched videos, had a little drink. And just, yeah, generally comfortable and happy. A load of friends of mine who are a bit younger, they went out, they partied, they drank. And I was thinking of joining them, but nah. We had a good one. But I hope you all did too. Welcome to the new year. Let's switch over to Unity. We're going to see what we can do to get this project tied up to at least a playable fashion. And then once it's out there, get more playtesting on it. And while people are playtesting it, we can start our new project for the year. Although I do have a sub-project I would like to start before the big project. So yeah, I'd like to do a sub-project before the big project. Hey Botrix, welcome to the party. Some of these bots have to wait until some kind of sort of timed trigger before they actually join channels. So what's this? Unauthorized device. Let's switch over to the main screen. So it's an unauthorized device. Please debug authorization and reconnect. What is this device you speak of? I have no devices that are connected to this computer that aren't normally. R3CNA0BPGVX. That's the device ID. Let's do a quick Google that, see if Unity is talking it out of its bottom, or if that is legitimately a device I need to be aware of. Okay, so it's R3C NA 0B PG VX. What is this device? Google has no idea. Apart from it could potentially be an induction cooker. I'm pretty sure that's not plugged into my computer. No, thank you, Google. It's not an induction cooker. I'm pretty sure of that. So whatever that is, that's more of a serial ID as opposed to an actual product. Don't know Unity? Afraid I can't help you. What I can probably do is close Unity and reopen it. Let's go back to my face cam for a moment. We'll close the project and reopen it because Unity's just had a nice wobble there. There should be no devices. I did have Unity running before I kind of set the stream up, so maybe it didn't like me doing that right round. I don't know. Maybe it prefers me to have everything running and then open the project. Although it opens quicker now I've converted it to the latest version of Unity. That's pretty cool. Any errors, Unity? Any errors? No, no errors. Okay, cool. We'll switch back over to Unity. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, it might be because I switched sound devices or something. Yeah, I think it's because I switched the sound device after I started Unity, so that's probably what I didn't like. It's a little sensitive at times. Okay, so what do I need to do? I'm pretty happy with how it's playing. So I'd like to, before the end of this stream, I'd like to have a new demo out there for people to try. I think I could do with well, I can do it off stream, I suppose. Or could I do it now? Need to kind of decide the volumes of the sounds. That's something I need to really kind of work out. What's the maximum volume I can expect someone to want the sound, and obviously minimum is 0. So that's something I do need to sort out. That is true. One thing I was looking at is the where's the canvas? There's the canvas. So the projectile selection screen. Projectile selection. There was something. Oh yeah, we looked at something and we thought it might have been an issue, but it wasn't actually an issue. So that was not a problem in the end. Have I actually got my other channel connected here? Let's make sure that's connected. Yeah, there's Moongate. I'm thinking about streaming on Moongate for records. A bit of self-love. Yeah, nothing wrong with a bit of self-love. Yeah, I might stream to Moongate Mage in addition to this channel when I start working on Moongate stuff. For archiving. So only when I'm doing Moongate stuff will I stream to Moongate Mage as well. And I'll probably join the chats together. It's just to get sort of some content on there. The only thing being the chats where, oh yeah, well, if I combine the chats will be there. Yeah. So yeah, I'll think about that because I'd like to have a bit of content that's sort of uniquely on that channel. That goes for my YouTube as well. Although maybe I'll do the dev on Hug Junkie, like the live dev on Hug Junkie, and then kind of edit it to put it on Moongate separately. So maybe that would be more of a thing. I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm going to use the channels. I just want to make sure that content purely for Moongate Mage is on Moongate Mage, but not to say it will still be on Hug Junkie. But it just means if someone's interested in Moongate Mage stuff, that's all they're going to see on that channel, and not have to deal with my other waffle. But I think I'm pretty happy the way this is working. I think if it'll come to the point where I'm finding issues down the line, then that's something I'll just have to deal with. Because it populates this nicely enough. Now, something I was thinking of doing. I could do with doing an animation for the trees, so they're not kind of coded animations; they're kind of a set animation. But I need to learn a bit more about animation for that. Doing the sound effects as well, so I could do with working on the sound effects. Basically, sound has been neglected in this game. Let's take it up. So I'm pretty happy that's projectile selection. I'm pretty happy with the lock status. I was thinking of implementing the points system. Probably what I should actually do is look at making it so you can save. Like, you save your progress. And if you're saving the progress, you want to be able to continue your progress as well. So that's a fundamental thing of the game. So let's go to scenes. So we've got main menu. Let's go save that. Yeah, that's fine. So I could do with a could do with having like a continue. So rather than saying play, it should probably have like a new and continue. And if there's a save file, it'll allow the continue to light up. So that's probably something we can look at. That's quite a big main menu there. So I could probably do with a means of storing a set of stats, like storing your score, storing which levels you've unlocked, well, the projectiles you've unlocked is already been stored. That's fine. It's probably levels, so I need to store which level you've unlocked, what medals you've unlocked on those levels. So if you've unlocked a level and whether you've got a medal in it. So I need to store that somewhere. So that's going to be likely that is going to be a scriptable object. It saves it into that, and then when the game loads, it will populate that scriptable object. And then when you save it, it just kind of saves it back again. To me, that seems the most sensible way of doing it. So let's make a scriptable object. Where's my scriptable objects? Is it in the prefabs? There you go, scriptable objects, there they are. So we need progress maybe? Let's do progress. So I suppose I could have it so I have an array of the levels, and whether they are locked or unlocked, And then, well, the array of the levels, whether they're locked or unlocked, and then the times. You want to save the times, wouldn't you? So what your score was, how quick you did it, and whether you won a gold, silver, or bronze medal. And if I'm implementing a point system, how many points you have. Or whether I'm smart about this and rather than the locked or unlocked, I have a medal state. And one of the medal states could be just unlocked, like you have no medal but you could play the level. Like you have a medal that is just unlocked medal to say you can now play this. Because if you have a medal, then it's unlocked, obviously. But you could have a medal, effectively what is a medal, like a hidden medal that just says, congratulations, this level has been unlocked. So that means I just need gold, silver, bronze, unlock as the 4 medals. And if you get a gold, you replace the unlock medal with gold medal. And it'll just be storing the times. So it'll be the medal status, the time for each level. Yeah, okay, let's make a mono behavior script. Now, can I actually I just cancel that one? I think I did. Can we make a... Because I've upgraded this to the latest version, scripting, scriptable objects. There we go. You can't see that on stream, unfortunately. That's annoying. Playable behavior script, playable asset script, assembly definition. Okay, scriptable object. There we go. That's the only annoying thing. I don't want to stream my entire screen. I just want to stream the app, but then it won't show the pop-up menus. So we've got a new scriptable object, and let's call this game progress. Cool. Wait for that to continue. Game progress. Oh, cool. Actually puts that in there. I didn't even change that. That's awesome. So I can change where the actual menu item is. So I need an array . Now, do I make a separate object that has medal status? Or do I just have numbers in there? It makes sense to have numbers, so it could be -1 if it's no medal, like it's not unlocked, 0 if it's unlocked. Then 3, 2 and 1 is gold, silver, bronze. Let's make a quick note of that. wrong one. So current level, yeah, makes sense. Yeah. So last field, total levels. Just seeing what the AI is coming up with. Boolean level completed. Player score. High score. I'm just interested in what's is game complete. Playtime. Yeah. Lives remaining. There's no lives. Don't have lives. Collectibles found. Will there be collectibles? Effectively, the collectibles are the projectiles, but it could be stored as a stat. Although I can pull that stat, I don't need to store it. Okay, what else is it suggesting? Total collectibles. Tutorial completed. Achievements unlocked. Total achievements. Some interesting things. It's last checkpoint. Not really a checkpoint. Enemies defeated. Total enemies. I'm just interested in seeing what the AI is coming up with now. Total puzzles. Special items collected. Bonus points. Difficulty level. It doesn't really have a difficulty level. Is multiplayer completed? Multiplayer wins. Well, it's not a multiplayer game. Multiplayer losses. Total multiplayer matches. Player name. Yeah, I'm not going to have a player name. Player ID. No, I'm not going to have like a global leaderboard at the moment. Total play sessions. Yeah, maybe. Average session time. Total in-game currency. That'll probably be the points. Items purchased. Don't need a stat for that. Items available. Secret levels unlocked. I could have secret levels, I suppose. So it's interesting doing this because it's showing me things I wouldn't have thought about. Total secret levels. Total deaths. Not going to be deaths in this game. Revives, not really reviving. Game completed with no deaths. No, not for this game. Total time spent in game. Total quests completed. Total quests available. So some of these things I would use in other games, not this one. Special events participated. Event wins. I'm going to have to go back and delete most of these. I'm just curious. This game saved might be useful. Although, I don't know, should I save it as you go? I probably should have this game saved status. So that's a good thing to have. Total game saves. Total in-game loads. Yeah. Has completed all achievements. Not going to be achievements in this. Game hours played is pretty similar to one that I always suggested. Minutes played. Seconds played. Total levels attempted. Nah, not going to be useful. Total levels failed. Restarted. His first time play might be useful. Be right back. Gotta walk the doggy. Okie dokie. We'll see you shortly. Tutorial viewed. Total hints used. Might be a useful status. So some of these total power-ups. Could put power-ups in the game. Boosters. Total in-game events. Yeah, it's not competitive. Has unlocked all characters. Some of these I can repurpose for more specific things. Sound volume I've already got stored elsewhere. I wonder if it's going to run out of things to suggest. So I could do a feedback thing, so if you provide feedback via the game, it unlocks something. Be right back, okie dokie. See you shortly. This game won't have any DLCs. It will have updates probably. The post-game stuff now. Total mods installed. I don't think there's going to be no official mods for this. Game achievements again. No achievements. Hardcore mode. I could make a hardcore mode. Like a new game plus. Pretty sure it's already said something about game resets. Has completed a game reset tutorial. That's a bit of a stretch. I think again at this point the AI is going, well, what was the last thing it suggested? And go, okay, what would be a field it might need afterwards? All syncs. I don't think it's got any more useful suggestions. Total game progress backups. It's completed. Yeah, it suggests one thing and then suggests everything around that thing then. Shares. Merges. Splits. Yeah, it's just getting ridiculous now. Okay. Hardcore mode, I'll keep in there. That might be something. Achievements, not interested in that. Provided feedback, could be interesting to keep. Total in-game event points. Hints used. I like the idea of that. Total is first time player. Maybe. I don't care about how many restarts, fails, attempts. Total game hours played, minutes played, game seconds played. Could be interesting. Is game saved? Is a good boolean. Friends playing, invited. Quests available. Time spent in game. Yeah, we don't need these other fields if that's So that's seconds played is the same as spent in game. so that is a redundant. Game completed with no deaths. Total revives to total secret levels. Levels, secret levels unlocked, so levels completed. Items purchased. Maybe. No, I don't need that. Total in-game currency could be useful. Average session time. Yeah, not useful. Total play sessions. Maybe. Player ID. Don't need. More player name. Multiplayer. Nope, not doing multiplayer. Difficulty. Maybe I'll look at difficulty level at some point. Bonus points, special items collect, total puzzles, puzzle solved, total enemy defeated, total achievements, unlocked, tutorial completed, maybe. Collectibles found. Maybe, lives remaining not an issue. Playtime. This game complete high score, player score. Now we've got in-game currency, probably be the better thing. Level complete is a boolean. Total levels, current level, total levels complete. Don't have characters, don't need that. Total hints used could be interesting. Difficulty level, I could have hardcore in difficulty level. That's a redundant field. So I can store the playtime and then add it to total playtime. Current level. Is it useful to have a current level? We'll save that anyway. Total levels. I would have to update that total level. So, if you consider these are a set of fields that will need to be updated by the player for the course of playing it. Anything that's going to be static doesn't need to be in here. So we've got collectibles found, total collectibles. Don't need total collectibles. Level completed. So level completed would be effectively because I want to store the progress of the level. So rather than a boolean, it needs to be an integer really. And it'd be the medal unlocked, I'd say, rather than level completed. So it'll be medal unlocked, it'll be time achieved. Yeah, medal unlocked, time achieved, so. So rather than private boolean, it'll be a private int. That'll be level medal achieved. I think that's how you spell achieved, just we'll check that with Google. No, it's not quite. CI before E thing. I'll put a note, so yeah, none, bronze, silver, gold. It's already thinking ahead of me, but I will add one more to you on this. -1 locked. So -1 is locked, 0 is none, 1 is bronze, 2 is silver, 3 is gold. Because I could store it as level completed, and if it's completed it over the next one. But I could use this same field then for the level select. Now if it's -1, you can't select it. If it's 0 to 3, you can't select it. And it will show you what medal you have achieved on that level. So you need to make the level select screen as well. So we remove that. Do I need current level? Because as long as it's storing your achievements here, when you go to continue a save file, it's just going to take you to the last level, or it could take you to the level select screen and go, well, continuing the file, you want to go to the latest level, so don't need current level in there. Don't need that in there. What we do need to have in here is a time. So serialized field, private is time a type? Time span. Is it system.timespan? Is time span the best thing to store time in? So do a quick Google. C# time time span. Time span struct represents a time interval that is different between two times measured in. No, it's not time span I wanted it. Might just be a string. Is it time stamp? Time only? Represents time of day, could read from a clock. How do we represent time in. Let's try a different approach. Unity. Unity time. Maximum value of time, delta time. System time? No. Time variable. How do I store time in a variable? What's the recommended? When display player took, I'm using text u1 in time.time, but the time value is not consistent. How do I use it? Level timer is 0. Not quite what I was after. It's similar, but not quite. I want to store it. Public static float time description. Time at the beginning of the current time frame. Do I have to use it as date time? So then we can store a date time. It'll just be, the date itself will just be the first of the first 1900. It seems a bit of a waste. But I know generally data likes to be in date and time rather than just time. But let's just store it as a string. We can try it, see how it works. But it will store it with a date attached to it. It is going to be an array. So playtime will be probably current playtime. So when it goes to save it, it's going to have to look at when the game's loaded, when the game is loaded compared to the current time. Even if that matters, to be honest. Sometimes it's nice to look at a game and go, oh, I've put so many hours into this game. But does it really matter? So I'll keep these two things together. Your total in-game currency. I gotta work out what kind of currency I want. Total play sessions again. This is not anything to do with progress, but it's more kind of that in there. Hints used, player feedback. So things like playtime, sessions, and all that. If I cut all that, drop it at the bottom for now, because I'm not going to use it right now, but it'd probably be cool to actually work out how to have that. So for definite, we need to know what medals have been achieved per level. For definite, what the best times have been. Is game completed? Again, it's not quite necessary to have this field, because as long as every single line in this array has at least a 0, then we know it's been played. It's unlocked. You unlocked everything. Completed is by definition you'd have to have a time set in each of the levels to know you've played each of the levels. Welcome back. So it might be a nice shortcut that you can check that a time has been set for each level. If it has, just set that as true, and then add a quick lookup. The game can be seen as completed. So collectibles found. Again, I'm not sure if I want collectibles, but it might be interesting. Tutorial, I've not made a tutorial, but again, could be useful for a tutorial. Difficulty, I haven't got separate difficulties. But I'm going to put this up here. Again, difficulties won't affect this necessarily, but maybe the currency, you get better currency the harder level. But yeah, some of these rely on the fact I actually have them. So, tutorial completed, collectibles found. If I had those in, I would use those, but I'll keep those there for now. In-game currency I want to implement. Secret levels. I haven't made secret levels yet, but I wouldn't mind that as an idea. I'll keep those there. Game saved, useful. Now, as soon as anything has changed, that could be set to 0. And as soon as you save it, set it to 1, go game saved. It's first time player, could be useful. So I can throw the tutorial stuff up on there and then hide it away. Hints used, could be very useful, and has provided feedback, could be very useful. So, what I now want to do is probably put in some functions that will take this and save it, I suppose. Let's go public int level medal achieved is greater than or equal to medal achieved. No. Public void reset progress. What's it suggesting for this? Level count is level medal achieved length. Okay, yeah. Level medal achieved equals new Levels count. Okay, so that resets that. Best time. Yeah. For I equals levels count. Max value -1 locked. Okay, yeah. Difficulty is 0. Game complete false. Total in-game currency 0. Game state false. First player true. Ensues. Okay, I like that. That the AI has come up with a good function for that. Wasn't what I was going to write, but that is I am happy with that as a reset function. Save progress. Load progress. No, okay. So these two functions I need to work out. So I need to take what's in these fields here and then save it into a file. So I might have to Google that. So it's not something I've done before. Let's do a quick lookie. So Unity write to file. How to write to a file. I want to read and write data from a text file that can be specific to this directory or other assets. If you don't want to read the file from a directory, you can assign the asset directly from the editor using exposed property typed text asset. You can see in figure 1. So you get the text of the file using text asset.text property. Oh yeah, stream writer, stream reader. I've used that before. So I could probably do with creating a string of all these values. That'll be a good start, and I can just write that string to a file then, and then read it from a file. You can use a resources. Okay, let's start with creating a string. So let's go private string get middle name. I don't particularly need a middle name. No, don't need a middle name. Could be. No. The name is unimportant at this particular stage. So get save key. No. Get save string. Ooh. Get save string, return JSON utility to JSON list. I wonder what that would do. So I could save it as a JSON file. What would this do? Generate JSON representation of the public fields of an object. This object's data in JSON format. Oh, they're not public though, are they? If I make them public, I don't need to serialize them. So if they're public, then the JSON, I can make a JSON file just by telling it to grab it. Okay, we can see if this makes a difference. Be interested to know what the JSON turns out are like. Does mean I can store private fields in this and not have it put into JSON. So in theory, this JSON utility dot to JSON dot brackets this will grab it as a string. I wonder if I now go debug dot log, do that. So the interesting thing would be loading it. The save string. Let's go private loads from JSON string. From JSON overwrite JSON string list. Oh, if this is as easy as it is to save to JSON and write from JSON. We're not aware JSON is a text-based database, I suppose. A very simple pocket of a database that is generally passed around for things that use JavaScript. Yes. So JSON's a very simple database structure. Stardew modding use it? Yes, it does. But it's used a lot in web design. So if you have a website and it wants to, say you type in your name and address to have a parcel, that would save that as a JSON and then send that JSON to the database server that takes your order, and it will then unpack it and save it into the database. But rather than having to connect directly to the database and write it in there, or keep writing to the database multiple times, it just saves it as a JSON, then sends the JSON file to the database, and the database unpacks the JSON and saves it. So it's kind of like sending a letter. It just packs it all inside the letter and then sends it to the database. And yeah, Stardew modding uses it because it's like, well, we just need a mini database of all the parameters that this mod is going to use. Rather than creating a database, it is a very simple database in itself. So I can work this out, then saving games would be quite easy. Because you just have a JSON file that you write to, and then you can read back from it to load the game up again. It does mean if somebody's savvy, they could open up the file and then change the data in the file, and just cheat effectively. But you're only cheating yourself when you do that. But older games used to do that. Like, I remember some old, really old DOS games. When I was young, my father found the file that said whether the game was paid for or not. Like, it was a free demo of a game, and when you pay for the game, it basically gives you a new copy of this file, and that file will then say, yes, you've paid for the game, and then unlocks the whole game. But he found this file, literally said, is full game, yes or no, and he just changed it to yes, and it was a full game. So that developer left themselves open, because they just said, well, just have a file that says whether it's a demo or the full game. Easy on the dev's part to go, well, yeah, it's easy enough. I can just make one game and have a file that says whether it's a demo or not. But my dad is quite savvy on that, so he just found it. So I just need to have the text reading and writing functionality, which I can save into a separate thing, but I could, because it's game progress, I could just save it all in here. I would like to see this working though. So let's come out of here. Let's go to let's make a game. Oh yes, needs to recompile. The thing is, again, if you want to be a little bit savvier as a dev, rather than saving it as a .json file, you could save it as a .anything. And so someone you'd have to be snooping around to realise it's actually a JSON file and not a super secret game save file, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it. Because files don't have to be a specific name, as long as whatever you're writing knows what the file is. You don't have to name it a .json, you don't have to name it a .text, you don't have to have a .anything. It can just be, please ignore this file, and not have a dot on it. And Windows goes, just seems a random junk file. Don't know what to open it with. It doesn't have a dot on it. I think Mac is a little bit better with that, because it will scan the file and go, oh, this just has text in it. I listened to all the music you sent me. It's awful. Yeah, it was very laughable. I enjoyed listening to it in a cringy way. I want to create a scriptable object. Game progress. Okay, so again you can't see it on the stream, but the pop-up menu has all the things I've made, but I can actually put them all into the same thing now, so that'll be easier to do. So let's make one of these. Let's call it game progress. Okay, so we now have the game progress up here. So medals achieved, difficulty levels. or public. So we've got medals achieved. It hasn't got the array of that's kind of frustrating. Maybe it needs to be a string rather than a let's do that. I was listening to music myself, so I didn't hear you reply. How are you listening to Smell Your Dick? I have listened to it. Yeah, I have listened to it. I found it very funny. Really? I did, yeah. I listened to Why Must I Cry and Smell Your Dick. And that's other one you posted as well. I found the first two. Which one's better? Well, that's a hard ask. I think there's at least a bit of a tune, a bit of a melody in Smell Your Dick. Compared to Why Must I Cry. That was just... there wasn't really much going on there. At least there was kind of some sort of narrative. Oh yeah, the... yeah, that's heavy metal. Yeah, I liked the sound of that. I liked that one. But the... yeah, I found... yeah, Why Must I Cry very... yeah, that was horrendous. Yeah, that's straight up brutal death metal. But, funny name. Oh yes. The name was funny. The video, I liked the Flanders in the video. On The Simpsons. Yeah, Why Must I Cry really bad, yeah. Like, at least, I say... Smell Your Dick was kind of cringy, but at least it had... I haven't seen the video, only streamed it on... okay. Yeah, it's just got basically just got a picture of Ned Flanders looking gangster. It has some production value, it does. Like, they can't sing, the vocalists can't sing for, or even rap properly, weirdly. Yeah. But musically, whoever did the beats, and so the lyrics aren't bad. I wonder if it works though. But yeah, lyrics aren't bad. It's not great, but lyrics aren't bad. Execution, not great. Like, there's a narrative there. She's accusing him of cheating, and her means to find out if he has is kind of made apparent. And yeah, production's not bad, so, but her vocals not great. His vocals in that sort of slightly better, but both of them are better than Why Must I Cry. Right, let's see if this updates. Why has it not updated? It is definitely... oh, what's it say? There's some red text there. Oh, what are you on about? Ah. Yeah, let's change that to a string there. Do we now get it up here? Cool. Right, what I do need to do actually, rather than it just being blank, make that 00:00. So best time is 0. Like you would never get a 0. If it's 0, you've not recorded the time. Does mean I need to set this up with some defaults. Why Must I Cry is amazing. It's art. You just don't get it. That's what makes him cry. Yeah, I clearly don't understand why he's crying and why he must cry. Now there is a point. You don't want to lock the first level, really, do we? So this AI is crazy. Cool. Yeah, well, happy with that AI, thank you. Okay, so we have a file here. So now I have this file. I need to be able to write into it. So when the game level is completed, let's look at the other scenes. So level 1. Probably a level end script. Probably need to put it into here. Do you know Ice JJ Fish? I do not, no. Don't know how many levels I'm going to do, but I could try and be smart with this. So I can take the name, find the last number of it, and then add 1 to the number. Which will be all fine, as long as it doesn't get to the last level. And try and play a level that doesn't exist. So, as clunky as this is, it kind of works at the moment. I suppose I could be smart and put in something along the lines of if level is a certain level, then it is the end of the game. As it is, you complete any level, goes back to level 1. But that's kind of a redundancy in there. But I could we do something like this. Oh yeah, string code scene name, yes. He's also great. I will send cool. Send him over. I'll listen to him at some point. Update game progress on level complete. I will do that to that for the moment. That could be... I could do it there, or I could do it somewhere else. We'll see else. Yeah, okay. So we have a current scene there. Cool, thank you. Nice shady fish on the floor. So current scene. Yeah, once I'm out of this test phase, I can probably let's see if we can do a int level index, get active scene build index. So I know you can progress a game through build indexes. So as long as you list the levels in the right order in the build index, you can then just increment the build index. You don't have to do what I've done in this code here. Providing it's in the right order. Let's go level number. Get level number from C now. We don't need to go to the game value for that. That seems a bit overkill. String dot mid current scene dot right, pad right. What's a string? Length known as pads, remove, replace, split. Starts with substring, that's what I was after. Go in 16. I'm at 16. Why is this 2 in 16 one issue? String does not contain definition of so accepting first argument of string will be found missing. Probably do a try pass. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cannot convert type string to short. Didn't particularly help it much, that did it. Int 16 dot try pass level no. I really wonder if Smell Your Dick actually works. That's ChatGPT. Yeah. Interesting to find out. I need to put out, don't I? Out. Oh, discard a boolean. Okay. So that will, if it can, we'll put the level number into there. I suppose realistically. Actually, I want to keep that outside of the if. Level no +1. Level no, yeah, add 1 to level no and do it that way. And we'll do a if okay, game values, total levels. Where's game values? Yeah, because this is not a, it's not something for storing game logic necessarily. We'll put it into here. So it's greater than 2. ChatGPT says no. Yeah, it's kind of one of those irrational things that people might think if they are what's the word? Paranoid about their partner, I suppose. You go, well, if I do this, this will mean you're cheating. And they go, well, no, not necessarily. I know there's this thing that came across the other day that if you're out for a drink or a meal with your partner and that partner puts their phone face down on the table rather than face up, some people believe that's a sign of cheating because they don't want you to see their phone and see any messages that come through on their phone, which is complete and utter dribble. If anything, it's a sign of respect to say, well, any messages or notifications that come through my phone, I don't wish to disturb me while I'm with you. But some people I've seen online say, well, that's a sign that they're hiding their phone. And so if anything, they're hiding their phone from themselves. But some people are paranoid. gonna comment all of this out. If this code doesn't work, I'll put it back. I literally have nothing to hide from people I know. Yeah. Same. And especially I have nothing to hide from Nix. Well, my back info is for no one. Yeah. No. People don't need to know certain things. You can borrow my phone, look through my messages and pics, just no bank info. Yeah. That makes more sense, bank. Yeah, like things that anyone would be expected to have privacy over. But yeah, I have nothing particularly to hide from friends. And if they don't like what they know about me, then that's entirely up to them. Yeah, Nix knows everything about me, and no problem sharing that. Okay, I'm happy with that. I don't know if I should save it at this point, because when the level ends, so show UI, probably this point here, level completed, that should be another thing that runs in here, I think. I also have nothing to hide. You wouldn't really have much interesting from my messages anyway. Bank info is private, of course. Yeah, of course. No, everybody expects that. Like, even the silly thing like, if I'm out with friends and they want to get cash from the ATM, like or putting their PIN number in to buy something, I purposely make sure I can't see their PIN number. Not like it makes a difference. I'm not going to steal their card, but I'd rather not know their PIN number. Because if I know it, then I feel that's a liability. And I don't need to know their PIN number. At least half of them are in Dutch, if not more. Yeah. But it's just a sign of respect. So I don't need to know your PIN number for your card. And the thing is, Nix knows my PIN number. And that's if I want to basically go, here's my card, can you go and buy something for me? But generally, I don't need to know other people's numbers. Save game progress. Save assets processor.save game progress. What? What's that about? Oh, it's a save asset. I do like privacy though, so if people really want to go from my phone, you ask first. Oh yes. I don't want people just taking my things and looking at them. That's just rude. But if they ask, yeah, sure. I have no problem, but don't take. Same with anything, like if someone wants to borrow something of mine, I'm okay with it too, generally speaking. But yeah, definitely don't take. You can borrow if you need. Well, want to need, but ask, not take. Yeah. I'm generally happy with that. I wouldn't be able to look into your phone anyway. I have no clue how Androids work. Never owned one. Yeah, they're not too bad. The main difference I found between Android and iPhone is where the settings are. Like, how do you change a setting on something? That is the most difficult thing between the two. So I found iPhone puts all the settings together, whereas Android scatters them. So now with iPhone, you just go to the settings and you scroll to the type of setting and you change the setting. Whereas in Android, you go to the app and you go to setting inside each individual app. Which is good in some ways. If you're looking at an app and you want to change the settings in the app, you just tap the settings in the app. You don't have to come out of the app and then look for the setting. Obviously on the other side of that, if you're on iPhone, you go, well, you just go to settings and you just find all the settings for everything without having to go through the apps. So it has its advantage both ways. Save level progress. Play again. Do I have anything on play again? Play next level. Yeah, I suppose that could be something that works. So current scene, save name, so update game progress on level complete. No. Although I could put it into there. Could get save level progress. Because to be fair, all the values I'm going to want are in game values, aren't they? Time in minutes, time in seconds. Hints active. Turn hints. Are all the values here? Where's the medals? Yo, how's it going, bot? Good to see you. Happy New Year. Medal and reward times. Aha. So I need to pull it from here. Good. How's the game? Going well. Going quite well indeed. Thank you. Just working on the save game feature at the moment. So I'm just looking at where I need to pull these things. So the medal award times pulls the award that you've won. Silver medal, none. So that is in medal award. So just kind of trace where I've got my information here. So level complete, and then grabs the award, get time text. So get time text is what I would need to save the time that it took you to complete level. I'm very happy with my new phone. Battery is still 100%. My old one would have been 40 of those. Yeah, I know that feeling. Like, as long as I'm not using my phone, it typically lasts a while. But as soon as I start using my phone, it drains so quickly. Like, just literally picking my phone up and unlocking the screen, I've lost 1%. Just doing that. And the longer I look at it, it probably loses 1% every couple of minutes. It really does drain. Cool, we're arranging, we're gathering tomorrow night. Cool, cool. But yeah, my battery drains so quickly when I'm using it. Which you expect it to drain when you're using it, but not that quickly. I know it's not a very good measure, but I occasionally go on a walk. It's like a 2-hour walk. And I'll play Pokemon Go while I'm on this walk. So I can just walk along, distract myself, catch some Pokemon. And my battery will die halfway through that 2-hour walk. So I typically have to take a battery charger pack with me if I want to play during that walk, because it will just die. But then the screen is on and it's playing a game, it's processing stuff. So I can understand it draining, but it means I can't play the game for long. My laptop battery doesn't want to do battery things anymore. Oh no, bot. Yeah, laptop batteries dying is pretty common, unfortunately. Especially if you've had it for a while. The later laptops, more recent laptops, you can install an app that is kind of like a battery protection app. And what that does, it stops the battery from ever being charged up to 100%. Because apparently if you charge a battery up to 100% and you keep it plugged in while it's 100%, that can make the battery life less. But if you have it plugged in and it only ever gets to 80% and then stops charging, that supposedly prolongs the life of the battery and it doesn't struggle so much. So I could really do that on my work laptop. I have like 1500 plus charge cycles, which apparently isn't good. Ooh. Yeah, that's quite a few charge cycles. Eventually it's going to start wearing down. Mac battery's okay, my MSI is always in charger. Works better that way. Oh yeah. Yeah, so Windows laptops so typically work better on there. I have 1500 charge cycles. Oh yeah, I already read that. But yeah, my work laptop is a Lenovo, and the Lenovo have their own app to protect their batteries. But my personal laptop is nearly always plugged in because it only really has about 3 hours of battery now. Not great. You can buy third-party batteries online. And as long as you know what you're doing, you can take it apart and replace them. But to be honest, it's very rare that I'm away from a plug if I'm using my laptop. It's just convenient to move it around, plug it in. And that goes for being on the internet as well. I usually plug it into something for the internet rather than use Wi-Fi. But yeah, batteries unfortunately are the main issue of technology these days. Like my phone is still a pretty good phone. It's a Samsung S20, so it's quite old now. And the only thing that's not great with it is the battery. The rest of it's fine. If I run it as a plugged-in device, it'll be going for years now. In the midst of building a very DIY home server and using very old computers. Okay. Nice. Yeah, so like old computers, perfect for servers. Because you don't need to be doing anything too intensive, typically. What you going to be using your home server for? So I've got a few old computers lying around I would like to get some use out of. So even if you turn them into NAS drives, they got a network port and you can plug hard drives inside them. Does it need a purpose? No, you've got a point there. Having a server's fun anyway. Like, even if you want to have a very basic server that is a NAS, plug some hard drives in it and just use it to access files. That's a good use for a server. If you want it to run like game instances, like a Minecraft server, or hosting like something else, maybe just a simple PXE boot server. Yeah, just running constant applications you want to have access to. Yeah, just but I'll be having something like that when I buy my own house. I'll be having a server, mainly just keep files on it and probably running instances that I want to connect to. Because why not? I maintain servers for work. It's kind of it's not in my job description, but it's my job. So I know how to manage a business server. So it would be out of place for me not to run my own at home. I want to use one of them to just mess up badly, see how bad I can mess up Linux. Yeah, why not? I keep trying to persuade work to have a Linux servers, because the cost, Microsoft charge a fortune to maintain a server. Like licensing, like Microsoft do nothing other than just sell you a license. It costs you a fortune, especially if it's a file server. You don't need anything special for a file server. Yeah, that'll be if it's just literally a file server, straight up, not using anything that costs me money. I know you could run a Minecraft server on Linux as well. Join the dark side. Join Linux. I'd love to. Like I've said this at work. So if you want to save money, you could save yourself a lot of money if we just host our file server on Linux. Just don't need to pay Microsoft anything. Just put the files on there. You can still apply Windows-based access rights. It's a little bit trickier. Like on a Windows server, you can just click and the access rights are there. I've not tried doing it otherwise, but I'd like to. I'd like to give it a go. And it means just people can access stuff. The problem we have terminal servers which run Windows only applications. So we have to have some Windows. Do you see how places in the EU government want to use Linux now and replace the Office suite with Libre? Ooh, I did not see. It makes sense though. Like governments are spending a lot of money and Microsoft are raking it in. I can't see what. It's only businesses being used to Microsoft, I think, is the biggest issue. They're used to using that setup. I think it's LibreOffice can save in Microsoft formats. I'm pretty sure it can. So even if somebody sends you a Microsoft document, you can still open it and still save it. So it's not like you need actual. My opinion is that you use OnlyOffice. I've not come across OnlyOffice. But yeah, it would save so much money. I see the costs involved in running a Microsoft-based business, and yeah, it's just not worth it. LibreOffice and Microsoft Documents don't work very well in my experience. Okay, it might be OpenOffice. OpenOffice maybe. I don't know. I know there's a few Microsoft alternatives. But there's ways of getting around it. It's just is convenience, and people like management don't mind spending the cost for the convenience. Hey Captain Krabs, how's it going, dude? Good to see you. Hope you're keeping well. Happy New Year. Hope you've had a good festive period. How goes the Unity? Not too bad. I'm trying to work out the most effective way within my structure to save progress. Now, this entire thing is not built efficiently. So I'm kind of working with what I've got. But otherwise, it's going alright. I'm enjoying it. I'm still enjoying Unity. I attempt to learn Game Maker and Godot, trying to see which one I like better. Nice. That'll be interesting to know. I know Game Maker sort of is very good for like 2D stuff. I don't know about... I think Godot's good for 2D and 3D. But if you're looking for like 2D... I know I've heard a lot of good stuff about Game Maker. I prefer making 2D stuff myself. That's fair. Yeah, I'm very much about the 3D stuff. I like that kind of environment. I've considered making 2D stuff because it's very nostalgia, very kind of. You can make some very cute games like the Captain Krabs game. It's a very cute game. Game Maker got a 3D editor. I don't know how much about it. Okay. Yeah, I've considered Game Maker. And I thought, well, Godot was what everyone was jumping ship for when Unity had those that controversy. But I was too far into my Unity learning experience. Game Maker has visual coding, which excited to try. Nice. Yeah, I like the idea of visual coding because it's a lot of simplicity there. The problem is I can never stick to something that's got simplicity for my own kind of detriment, to be honest. So I go, ooh, I like this, but I wonder if I can do something completely off the rails, and it kind of throws things off. I come from a background as a compositor using Nuke, so node-based stuff I understand. Okay, nice. Yeah, I never got into the sort of node-based stuff. I was very much... I taught myself Basic as my first language, and then I've just got through all the different stages of coding from then. So I've done it from the harder stuff. And I'm kind of set in my ways now. I was like, well, I like having full control, even if it takes me ages. I just know Perl, PHP, and ASP. Nice. Yeah, good languages. I know some ASP.NET because I took a small qualification in that. I've not had to use it much, which is unfortunate because that means I've forgotten most of it. PHP, I wanted to learn, never got around to PHP. I thought, well, if I go ASP.NET, that kind of covers most of what that does. Rusty there for sure, been ages. Yeah, I want to do some ASP.NET stuff and build a web app, because my workplace keep asking for web app stuff, but our IT manager's like, can we just stick to Windows-based applications for now? And I'm like, come on. I can do this. I'm qualified in it. I just need to be given a project. But I would love to. I think I'm going to have to start just making ASP apps. And go, well, I've made an app. Should we use it for the business? I think that's how it's going to have to go. But management have asked for... typical management, so can we just have a thing that you just tap on the screen and it does all this stuff? They go, yes, you technically can have a thing that just taps on the screen and does all this. It isn't a case of just though. But give me a couple of months. and we'll get there. But I would like to do it. But yeah, I enjoy code. I enjoy learning code. I'm using Visual Studio, especially with Microsoft's Copilot hooked into it now. It's a little bit mind-blowing. It's like predictive text, sort of amped right up. Because it not only does it predict the end of your line of code, it now predicts the entire function. Which is good and bad, because you start typing something and go, that's exactly what I had in my head. And it kind of freaks you out that the AI has picked up on exactly what you're going to type. Other times it will start throwing functions at you, go, no, that function seems cool and all, but it has no use in what I'm trying to do. Because game progress? Like even there, it's trying to suggest stuff in here now. But this entire function here was AI. I literally started typing in public void. It goes, would you like to auto-complete the rest of this? I go, well, yeah, I was kind of thinking of having a reset progress function. It even puts like the comments in as well. So AI is going to be speeding things up as long as it doesn't take over. But you still need somebody that understands what the code means. There's no point AI throwing this at you going, yeah, I don't understand anything. I'll just run it and see if it breaks. Yeah, this is where it's trying to suggest putting total hints used equals 0 here, but it's already down there. So if I just went with AI at that instance, then I'll just have redundancy. So it's kind of helping me, but I'm trying to keep a rein on it. But I do need this value here, gets time text, but only on level complete. I'm thinking that, because I want to like log the progress the players made within that level. So they complete the level, I want to take the time it took them to complete the level and what that means as far as medals are concerned, and saving that into sort of a progress file. But where that's called, I don't think it should be called here. I think it should be its own thing. I heard a story where someone vibe coded a complete application, but the application became so big AI didn't know what was going on anymore. It was too big for AI to handle. Yeah, it can only store so much content to work around. Like one of my ex-managers was trying to use AI to build a web application, and it was removing stuff that he'd previously asked to put in. So it's, oh, I need this functionality and this functionality, and it was adding stuff but then removing stuff he'd already asked for before, and it was making a complete mess of it. So it's certainly good for like function by function. Like, okay, it understands this entire function. It doesn't need to, maybe this entire script file. It doesn't need to know anything beyond the script file. And so far Copilot seems to work with that. It looks at what I've written here already. Like here it suggested I make a function called update game progress on level complete. I'm kind of in disagreement with that. But I don't know whether I should put logging the level stats within this function, because the level end functionality So it's doing a check, is the level being completed, and then show the UI to say, well done, you've completed the level. And then if you push play next level, it will just go current level +1. I don't know whether I should put it into there. That's one thing AI can't tell me. But where is this level end? Level end is attached to the level end UI, so it basically shows itself. Well, it shows the elements, the child elements, if the level end condition has been met. What have I messed up? What was I in the middle of doing? Oh, I know. Let's comment that out, because I'm still not sold on that method. Okay, yeah, Unity's happy again. So this script is constantly checking to see if the level end condition has been met. If it has, it then shows the UI to say, would you like to play again or play the next level? Tell you what your completed score is. So it's handling this middle section of the UI. Should it also then save the stats from, because the stats are actually being pulled up of the medal and the time, and that's what I want to save. So to me that makes sense to pull it from the same place here, rather than having an external, I don't know. Because the values I need are the values I need aren't actually in this script, which kind of means it's not really useful to put it in this script because I don't have the values. So probably best not to have it in the script. So I need to. The values are actually in this script. So times a minute and seconds I need to save. What it doesn't have is the medal, but then the medal takes what the current time and then calculates what medal should be awarded, and that's the two of the values I need to save, is the medal and the time. But that function pulls a sprite. I don't need the sprite, I just need to know the medal. So I could have built this a bit more cleaner, but I've added these features in a ad hoc kind of fashion. When I go, oh, it would be cool if there's a medal system. But then if I was planning a medal system from the start, I wouldn't have built it in the way I have. That's unfortunately the way it goes, I suppose. Captain Krabs, what was your approach to your kind of game dev? Was it very much planned from the beginning, or did you kind of add features as you went? I know the recommended thing is to kind of plan absolutely everything and stick to it, but that's not always how things go, unfortunately. But this is more of like, can I make a game? And once I've proved I can make a game, and then do everything on paper first, plan the features, plan how the features connect, how the functionality works, and then go ahead and build it. Otherwise you end up with this mess. But then I think everything's going to have no matter what you do, there's always going to be some kind of mess. And the beauty is not many people tend to see your code. They only see the end result and if it's playable. And I think, let's have a quick look where medal awards. Where's medal award actually running? Is it actually on the medal awards? Yeah. So this red X up here is a stand-in sprite for the medal, and that's running the medal award script. So that in itself checks for the level complete condition, and then picks a sprite and does nothing else, which is kind of what you want. So when it comes down to it, do I just need a separate object that handles this rather than trying to weave it in? Because UIC, so UI controls has the medals. UI controls is a scriptable object, isn't it? Is it scriptable? I think it's scriptable. Or is it not? What is that? UI controls. UI controls. Okay. So yeah, I've kind of interweaved this entire section, which it's messy. I don't like the way I've done it. I did it because it was quick and dirty. Like, what am I actually pulling from UI controls here? Awards times. So I'm pulling award times. So award times has, I actually drag and drop the award times into each level. So that's potentially a problem. Because we got power slider values and we have the award times values. And it's pulling it from the UI controls. Is the UI controls actually being used for anything else? It's not, is it? It's just for those award times. And UI control script. So the award times there. Where's that used? Is it actually used within this script, or is it just a pass-through? I think it's a pass-through. So this isn't even used in this script. I've just put it in there because that's kind of the hold all manager for what the UI shows. That's probably not the best way of doing it. I'm pretty certain that's not the best way. I've done it there because it's the first thing on the list. Is that if I put it all in here, then I can just check what values I'm using. Ideally, it should be in the medal awards here, rather than putting it through the entire control values just to use one thing. And I know why I've done it that way. I just don't think it's the best way of doing it. It's because, yeah, this power and award times are different objects per level. Everything else in this section is fine. And game values is shared throughout the game, so that's static. It's just a power slider and the middle. It's almost like I need a separate thing. Handling that. Not sure how to deal with that. So everything else is pretty standard because that's just a button. That's just a button. That's just a button. These are just buttons. But the play UI, that takes the universal values, the power meter, the controls and the stats, which are just below here, the power meter, the controls, which is the launch button, left to right, button A, D, space. The stats, so that's just a background for that. The time, which has the values again, and the sprites for the time, because these are individual images, so I can have the stylized numbers, and the same for the number of hits. So we've got the sprites and then the individual spaces. That's all fine. That's all fine there, really. So I could probably do with something external to this that will then do a lookup. What are we looking like for time? Probably another 10 minutes and I'll wrap this up. I was hoping to have something I could push out tonight, but I feel like I just need to unweave a little bit more. Not there yet, no. I don't like where I've got things. I've tried to make things simple in some ways, but not really. What's this? Game values. So game values have the time, so I can get time text. This is one value I need. Maybe if I put the medal value into here, I can then pull it. Yeah, I want to try and I want to avoid making it too spaghetti. But I need this value, and I need the award. So you've got medal 1. I could do with I could do something with this at least. So you've got get seconds. a second. So where we've got medal, that returns a medal. It all depends whether the medal's calculated live. Is that worth doing that, or is it going to be too much processing? Because I don't have to do this calculation twice over just to get a number. Unless I get the number and then from the number get the sprite. Would probably make more sense. So I could do a do like a go private. Oops. Oh. Oh, okay. Interesting from the AI there. Just guaranteed. I'm tired, I will sleep now. Yes, no problem. Thank you for sticking around, as I'm going to wrap up shortly anyway. We'll talk to you later. Yes, indeed. Hope you have a good rest. Thank you for hanging out. It's always good to see you. I'm just going to put my mind at rest and I'll begin some rest too. Oh, also sleep. Thank you, Lisa. Hope you both have a good rest. And we'll speak to you on Monday. Talk to you later. Have a great rest of your stream. Thank you. I'll speak to them. Yeah, those awesome emotes. Yeah, I'm going to take this suggestion from the AI for that. On awake, probably better than on enable. I don't know. Private void? No, private int metal bronze index. Oh, just be metal index really? You don't need a equals 0. So if there's a 3 there's a 2 so 1 this is 0. So whether I have that as a separate function that just calculates the medal in this get medal. So I can do a public get medal index, yeah, that'd be a good function. Public. Do I want the string? Don't want the string. Public sprite. Yeah, that's a better function. Thank you, AI. So that's the function that's going to break. Let's just go. Let's go public void calc medal 1. Put it in the messy way for now. And medal sprite. Dot. Now index just needs to be, medal index doesn't need to be passed in. So that will now give me an index number. Yeah, there's going to be more to think about. So I'll wrap the stream up here. And I will continue with this next Friday. Thank you all for joining us today. It does mean a lot for you to hang out. I hope you've had a good New Year. And I know it's not always something people will stop by. They're so busy, especially this time of year. I do appreciate everyone that's been chatting, been lurking. I see all your names in the list there. You're awesome. Goodbye and Happy New Year. You too, thank you, bot. Yeah, we'll continue with this next Friday. I'll have some thoughts off stream. It's usually what happens. Yeah. Jason Array. Sprites Utilities. Interesting. Yeah. Thank you all. Let's switch back to my full camera for the moment. I can say goodbye properly. There we go. Yep, so not Stardew. Minecraft art. Pixel art on Monday. And probably do some Blender on Wednesday and then back to Unity stuff on Friday. So I hope to see you then. Till then, hope you have a good night. Have a happy new year. And see you next week. Good night.